Hi, I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I hope you like the video. Please give it thumbs up and comment in the comments section. That will help my little business grow. I love to create and do all different kinds of styles, rustic and farmhouse, industrial and small home decor too. I hope you enjoyed the video and learn lots of different techniques from me, and I inspire you to create yourself. If you're local to me, I also sell. I'm in Chilliwack, BC, Canada, and if you are local, please stop by and say hi. If you're anywhere else in the world, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. Well, welcome to this week's video, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a mixture of things again this week. I'm going to be out and about. I'm going to take off very soon and go up to Rivington. Now that is an area between Chorley being the town I'm in, Bolton being a bigger town a little further away, and then a small place called Horwich in between. And Horwich, I mean, to be honest, I think it's actually bigger than Chorley. Now, in Horwich, there's a place called Rivington. Rivington has a lot of history to it, but it also has lots of beautiful areas to go on walking trails, hiking, biking, all kinds of things like that. Now, I know you're saying it, that's not you, why are you going? But it also has absolutely beautiful countryside, cafe, nice, beautiful cafe. It has Rivington Barn where you can go to eat for dinners or lunches if it's open. Now, if it's not open, it's usually because there's a private event there, and I believe today there's a wedding on, so we won't be able to go into Rivington Barn, but there will be a wedding going on there, so we will go into the cafe, have something to lunch, enjoy the cafe, and also I believe there's a brewery type craft beer place there too, so that's more new. So it's going to be a beautiful afternoon out, and let's get going and see Rivington, Rivington Hall, Rivington Barn, and Rivington Cafe, and Rivington Craft Place Pub Bar, and the trails and beauty of the countryside that's just round the corner from me. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get going. Rivington Pike is on a hill on Winter Hill, part of the West Pennine Moors, at Rivington, Chorley in Lancashire, England. The land and building are owned and managed by Chorley Council. The Pike Tower is a prominent local landmark, is located at the summit and part of the area walkers and mountain bikers enjoy. The prominent summit of Rivington Pike was the site of one of the series of beacons spanning England as early as warning system. The beacon system was in place in 1139, following a Scottish raid in 1138 when a small Lancashire army was defeated near Clitheroe and a much larger Scottish force. When I was growing up, I used to go up to Rivington Pike on a Good Friday. Everyone kind of came together, vendors, drinks, and all kinds of crowds came up, and we would do an Easter egg hunt at the top near the summit. That was a fun memory I did many times. Now the area is full of hikers, strollers along the different trails, all leading in different directions. There's Rivington Hall Barn, and there's a cafe, and also a little craft beer area. The place is just, especially on nice days and weekends, just full of people just enjoying the beautiful countryside. It's just a beautiful place to be. In the actual barn itself today was a wedding, which meant we couldn't go in, but it was nice to see that this wedding was actually in the most picturesque place I've been for a long time. Now, Rivington Barn has been around between the 9th and 15th century, and as the structure's been there for that long, it was obviously built for a different reason. I'm not sure what, but that whole pike and top of the hill there was an onlooking place for any battles that would come by and was used quite regularly. Now it's a quaint spot to go to the tea room, have a drink, gift shop to buy something to say that you've been there, or if you want to just be with your friends and go to the Rivington tap house to have a craft beer. And also, if there isn't a wedding on, to just go into Rivington Hall Barn and have a beautiful meal and enjoy the scenery. What a wonderful spot. So it's time to get crafting. I've been out and about, I got lots of fresh air. It was a warm day, but it wasn't the sunny day. But let's get crafting time and let's see what we're going to work with today and have some fun. I'm going to be using some chalk paint and I'm going to be creating some dark wax and white wax and having some fun with it. So let's get started. So I'm going to be working with this box. It is actually a lovely box. I picked it up secondhand from a thrift store and I'm going to be using it for my jewellery box. I'm not going to be painting the inside, just the outside. And just with the lovely detail here, I'm going to be going in with some dark wax. But I don't have any dark wax. So see how I develop the wax and what I use instead. I am going to be using some white chalk paint and going to be doing probably 2 coats all the way around. I am expecting bleed through because of the darkness of the stain on the wood, but I'm going to work with that, so see what I do to actually kind of, rather than get rid of it or hide it, work with the bleed through that may come through. But right now I'm putting the first coat of white chalk paint onto the piece. So now it is pretty much dry and I'm going to be putting some wax on. Now the wax I have here, I've just picked it up, is a Rust-Oleum clear wax. I've never used Rust-Oleum wax before, but I have used Rust-Oleum products, so I think it should be fine. So I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is, because this will have some bleed through, I'm going to create a white wax from the clear wax. So how I'm going to do that, I have the white wax here, and what I'm going to do is just grab, I've got some plastic here, if I can cut it. Probably not, best to rip it, I think. Just want a little part of this plastic. Just using it to get some of the clear out, and what I'm going to do is just dig some of the clear out and put it, I've got an old kind of yogurt carton here, and I'm just going to put some wax in it. I've picked up a little artist brush here, so I'm going to use that for stirring. If I can get it open, get that out. All right, so let's just get this wax off here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white paint to the actual wax. So just use, I believe, my little brush here, get it full of some paint and just put it into the actual container with the lump of clear wax and just literally stir it around together, melding them together. And I may need a little more, but we'll see. Now the reason I'm turning it into white wax is, if I just put clear wax on this, it would actually bleed through with the colour of the wood. So if I put on, I'm putting dabs here on everywhere. Get some more out, I might have to make a little more, but I'm just literally going to put it on all the edges. I'm going to make a little bit more into my pot. I'm trying to not make too much because, you know, then you can't put it back, you know. Into my pot, get some more of the white paint and just mix it together. Just make up a little bit more. And this really just colours the clear wax. And you can use any type of paint, it doesn't have to be chalk paint, any type of paint. And this colours the wax to whatever colour you want. It doesn't have to be white, you can do any you want. So as I said earlier, I'm going to be putting, actually on this piece, I'm going to be putting some dark wax as well. So I'm just right now putting it everywhere to give it a clear coat. And then use the actual plastic that I got the wax out and rub that in everywhere. Best I can. That's good. Now rubbing in nicely. Get it in all the nooks and crannies, everywhere you want. Into the sides too. All the edges. And then just scoop any last remaining out of your container and just use it all up everywhere. Now, I have another little section in my container and I'm literally going to get some more of the wax out. So I'm going to use this to dig more wax out, put it into the smaller side of the little yogurt pot container, and then I'm going to get, as I say, it's the dark grey, and this will actually be my dark wax. So I'm going to put this in, get some out with my brush, and put that in with the clear wax, and then stir that together. You're all in there, and then try and now be a little bit artistic, and what we are going to do is we're going to push it into all the areas that has detail. Just push it in there with the brush, and then any edges as well. And then use paper towel, or even better, any lint-free cloth's better. So an old t-shirt, something like that is even better. And just wipe it back so that then in the crevices will be the actual grey, darker wax. And then on the top, more prominent, will just be the white paint with the white wax over the top. If you find you have too much wax, you can use a damp cloth while you're working with it. If you find you don't have enough, obviously the solution would be to just put more on. So just go around the edges, giving it some detail, and then do the same for the other side. Push in the wax into the detail images part, pushing it right in there, and then bringing it around to the edges. Just gonna get some of this off here. That's it. And just put it around the bottom. And then use a piece of your paper towel to just rub down. Another trick to do, if you find you've got too much of the darker wax, just use a baby wipe. That'll wipe it back too. So then it's got a detailed, worn look to it. Another way to erase any of the coloured wax, use just simple clear wax, and that will help you get rid of some of the coloured wax too. So I'm just going to go around all the edges. And if you go in a circular motion, it gets really down into those little intricate parts of the pattern. Really get down into there. And then, as I say, just around the edges. I want to do the top last and just get it how I want it to be. So right now I'm doing the edges first, and then pull it back. The amount you want it to be. And then I think it's the last side we're on here. Get that right in there. Around this edge. And if you dab just a little too, it can soften rather than taking all the grey away. You can just soften it. And just on this part here, I'm just going to wipe it back just a little more. It's a little too grey. Now we're going to do the top, and how I'm doing the top is the same way. I'm going to go around the edges with my brush. Kind of more just using it like an art brush to just shadow in some of the edges. Going along kind of the flat side of my brush, just to give it some edge to it. Just take your time what you're doing, all the edges. Now make sure while you're doing that you're not pushing any down to any of the sides that you don't want it to be as you're doing it. And then use your paper towel to just dab back. Here I just had it a little bit too much of a perfect line from the brush, so I'm just dabbing back, and then dab it a little just to soften it. And what I'm going to do here on this, it's got just this little motif here on the top. I'm just going to kind of go over it just a little. Around with my brush. That's too much on that one side. And just go around the actual kind of raised little motif I have here. And then I'm just going to use just the edging of this paper towel with my finger, without going through it. Just have the line a little bit more precise. And then just over again. That's it. Not too harsh there. That's it. And it just brings back the actual pattern on top. Giving it that effect. A little bit dark there. Now, as we've been painting this, it's kind of probably painted together a bit. Just get a little knife and just go along to just open it back up if you have a little bit of a knife or something. I think I got some scissors here, I might be able to just put in there. Let's just get that open just a little bit, get my scissor in, there we go. And just to open it up again, so you can open it up and down and get your things in. And there we are, we have finished giving it an old look. And let's get staging on it. Thank you for watching. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co.